Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami Nitinamne Snigdha Chaita Supraneta Vagminam Charasaplitam Prabhupada Gata Prana Naumi Bhakti Charu Padam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. My dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your divine grace. When you were present amongst us, although we frittered away precious moments in your presence, our hearts overflowed with so much joy. How full of life and energy and enthusiasm we were to be engaged in service under your benevolent and loving glance. Our hearts were so full of love for, and also so full of love for the love you showered upon us, especially for us, your female disciples. You treated us just like the daughters we were, foolish and childish. But you also appreciated our eagerness to serve you in your ever-watchful shelter, and you were so accepting of whatever we offered. You sheltered us, trained us, and firmly instructed us to stay loyal and serve your Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON. You pushed us to become more efficient, sincere, and hardworking. You maintained every cultural etiquette, yet you never made us feel that we were incapable of doing any service. You always tolerated when we made mistakes and forgave us, but you expected us to learn from our mistakes. You were never satisfied with mediocrity. Prema, whatever a karmi can do, a devotee can do better, you insisted. When we served you in your quarters in Mayapur, as soon as the brahmacharis got word that you were upset and were chastising someone, it was very common for them to start disappearing from your quarters, lest they came within firing distance. But it was very rare that you chastised your female disciples. That mercy was more often than not reserved for your male disciples. You rarely chastised your daughters. You always knew when we tried our best, and also when we did not try our best. Your silence, a painful reminder that we had displeased you. You always encouraged me to speak my mind, to let you know what I thought. In my foolishness, I relentlessly argued with you about anything and everything. You tolerated my insistent arguing when we were discussing my marriage. You wanted your female disciples to get married and the men to stay brahmacharis. You laughed and said, because that is what Srila Prabhupada wanted. And you laughed again and said, I have also not been able to solve this conundrum. You said, maybe the girls can get married to the congregation devotees, and all the full-time devotees should stay brahmacharis. And I argued with you again and again. Why should the girls who wanted to totally dedicate their lives in service have to marry congregation devotees and not live in the temple? How you always laughed at my stubborn insistence and lack of faith in your judgment of our situation. But as my loving, benevolent father, you would always close these arguments by saying, don't worry, Prema, Krishna will surely make a wonderful arrangement for you. And he did. Because you desired it. Because you desired it for me, Guru Maharaj. You promised my mother you would take personal responsibility for me when she was not consenting for me as a young unmarried girl to be able to join the temple. And you made every arrangement so that I could. You always stood by me through it all, always there for me. When you saw me overworking and pushing myself, you remarked, "Don't overdo it, Prema. Too much austerity hardens the heart." I did not understand and kept pushing myself, and eventually pushed myself to the edge so many times. You were always there to understand how exhausted I was. After the exhausting fight with the Ritviks for the Kolkata temple, when I wrote you a letter saying, "Guru Maharaj, sometimes I wonder if I will ever be able to remember Krishna at the time of death, because all we think of now is court cases, police, this problem and that problem. Sometimes I wonder if you're really advancing on the path of pure devotional service, or are we just caught up in institutional conveniences?" You replied, "Tamal Krishna Maharaj also asked Srila Prabhupada the same question." Srila Prabhupada replied, "Do you think Arjuna was thinking about Krishna during the battlefield of Kurukshetra? We, by dint of our own ability, will never be able to think Krishna at the time of death. Are we able to think of something according to our own will or plan when we're asleep? Therefore, how will we be able to think of Krishna at the time of death? However, if Krishna is pleased with us, then he himself will come at the time of death. It is a service attitude that really matters. After all, the omniscient Supreme Personality of Godhead is seeing everything, and he will reciprocate in his own way. We simply have to continue to serve him with full conviction." Guru Maharaj, are you pleased with us? Is Srila Prabhupada pleased with what we are doing? Is Krishna pleased? Are we on the right path? You replied, "You can rest assured that I am very pleased with you. I feel so indebted to you for all that you are doing that I cannot figure out how I am going to repay you. Therefore, I pray to Srila Prabhupada that he showers his mercy upon you. Then in the depth of my heart, I see his divine form, effulgent with the radiant smile granting my prayer. When his divine grace is pleased with you, Krishna is naturally pleased. While encouraging us, your disciples, you always emphasized that your duty as our spiritual master was just to take your disciples as a transparent wire medium to your spiritual master's lotus feet. You always said your business as a spiritual master was only to repeat what Srila Prabhupada taught you. And by doing just that, you fulfilled your duty as a disciple. Every mercy that I see in my life is because you desired it for me. I argued and fought and stopped coming to you, taking a back seat for some time, because I did not understand why you did what you did. Even then you cared for me and came to visit us and made arrangements for us and encouraged devotees to do the same when my husband was unwell. You tolerated my letting off all that was pent up in my heart and so lovingly reassured me that everything was all right in our relationship. Now that I look back on the 35 of the 52 years of my life that you were a part of, all that I remember is the love you gave me. All the things that I argued about and kept a distance over seem completely inconsequential and irrelevant compared to all the love and affection that you showered on me. How foolish I was, Guru Maharaj. But just as Krishna waits for us to look towards him and tolerates the pain of our facing away from him, so did you tolerate my stubborn, offensive behavior. Just as one realizes the value of what one has when it is taken away, now I'm left with this deep vacuum of loss. and despair. The folly of youth is yet to disappear. The knowledge of realization and experience has yet to dawn. Now is when I need your physical presence in my life. It will take only a moment, Prema, to return to the spiritual world. One has to just develop a pure love for Krishna. You replied when I asked you, my heart full of doubts, whether it was really possible to go back to Godhead in one lifetime. You said all Krishna wanted was our love, pure unalloyed love. How can a hard heart learn to develop pure love when it has been aimlessly wandering for millions of lifetimes in this material world? But you showed us how, by loving us, caring for us, and showing how to live a life of service by example of your dedicated, but you showed us how, by loving us, caring for us, and showing us how to live a life of service by the example of your dedication and loving service to your spiritual master. Guru Maharaj, you made it so easy for us to love you by giving us so much love. You almost tricked us into thinking it is so easy to go back to Godhead. Now you stand behind this thin veil in this big world of illusions. The only thing separating us is the time that it will take to develop pure love. I come at your lotus feet today to pray that you please continue to shower your mercy on this daughter of ours, of yours. For a materialist, time destroys everything: youth, beauty, health, dear ones, achievements, nay, one's very life itself. But for a devotee, Krishna, through the spiritual master, gives every inconceivable mercy in time. We just have to desire and deserve. Dear Guru Maharaj, please forgive all my offenses. I miss you. And want to be qualified to be in your presence again and always. Your servant, Prema Manjari Dasi.
Hare Krishna. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हर ग्रेस प्रेमा मंजरी माता जी फॉर योर हार्टफेल्ट ऑफरिंग. मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि माता जी गुरु महाराज के जब गुरु महाराज दीक्षा देना शुरू किए तो गुरु महाराज के फर्स्ट बैच ऑफ डिसाइपल्स में से माता जी हैं. गुरु महाराज के पर्सनल सेक्रेटरी के रूप में उन्होंने बहुत सालों तक सेवा की है. मोर देन 35 years of association and Guru Maharaj especially loved her very much. Thank you Mataji for coming and sharing your heartfelt offering with us. Thank you very much. इसके बाद हमारे बीच कुछ विशेष अतिथि हैं जो प्रतिवर्ष श्रील गुरु महाराज की व्यास पूजा में आते हैं हम पे आशीर्वाद करने, और गुरु महाराज का बहुत हृदय से उनके साथ संपर्क है. उन्हीं में एक विशेष अतिथि हैं श्री आनंद शंकर व्यास जी. श्री आनंद शंकर व्यास जी की ये सांदीपनी मुनि के वंशज हैं, और मैं महाराज से निवेदन करूंगा कि महाराज कुछ बताएं इनके बारे में.
जब गुरु महाराज पहले आए गुरु पूर्णिमा के दिन, तो पहले संदीपनी मुनि के आश्रम में गुरु महाराज आनंद शंकर व्यास जी से मिले, और तब से मित्रता है. और हमें जितना सारा मदद है हमेशा ही आनंद शंकर व्यास जी गुरु महाराज के पास खड़ा होते थे. और उज्जैन में इस तरह कुछ प्रोग्राम हुआ नहीं जहाँ पर गुरु महाराज के साथ आनंद शंकर व्यास जी थे नहीं. हमारा बहुत सौभाग्य है आप आया. अब बताइए गुरु महाराज का.
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे,
हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे. कृष्णम वंदे जगद्गुरुम. मुझे अत्यंत प्रसन्नता है कि आज हम परम श्रद्धास्पद भक्ति चारू स्वामी जी महाराज का जन्म दिवस यहाँ मनाने के लिए एकत्रित हुए हैं. मेरी उनसे सर्वप्रथम भेंट सन 2004 में आषाढ़ शुक्ल पूर्णिमा गुरु पूर्णिमा के रोज़, जिस रोज़ हम सांदीपनी स्मृति महोत्सव मनाते हैं। लगभग अभी 44 साल से हम मनाते आ रहे हैं। तो विश्व का प्राचीनतम शिक्षा केंद्र उज्जैन था। जब सारे विश्व में कहीं भी शिक्षा के केंद्र की जानकारी नहीं है, ऐसी स्थिति में 5244 वर्ष पूर्व यहाँ महर्षि सांदीपनी का गुरुकुल था। और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात तो ये है कि यहाँ गुरुकुल स्थापित भी किया तो महाकाल के आदेश से। ये एक सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है। यहाँ पर सिंहस्थ के अवसर पर सांदीपनी जी बनारस से आए थे और जब देखा कि यहाँ अकाल पड़ा हुआ है, जल नहीं है, अन्न पैदा नहीं हो रहा है, लोग अकाल मौत मर रहे हैं, तो ऐसी स्थिति में उनको बड़ा कष्ट हुआ और उन्होंने यहाँ रहकर घनघोर तपस्या की। और तपस्या करने के बाद भगवान महाकाल प्रकट हुए और उनसे कहा कि मुनि आप क्या चाहते हो, आप जो चाहते हो मैं वरदान दूंगा आपको। उन्होंने कहा महाकाल से कि मुझे तो कुछ नहीं चाहिए, ये मालव क्षेत्र अकालग्रस्त है, जल नहीं है, अन्न नहीं है, लोग अकाल मौत मर रहे हैं, तो इस मालव भूमि को अकाल मुक्त घोषित करें। तो उनके कहने पर तथास्तु ये कहा और तब से आज तक मालव क्षेत्र में कभी अकाल की स्थिति नहीं आई। पानी कम ज़्यादा जरूर हुआ हो, लेकिन अकाल वाली स्थिति आज तक नहीं आई है। तो दूसरा ये कि उसी समय भगवान महाकाल ने उनको आदेश दिया कि ऋषि अब आप वापस मत जाइए और यहीं आश्रम बना के रहिए, शीघ्र ही कृष्ण और बलराम आपके पास पढ़ने आने वाले हैं। हमारे प्रदेश में ISKCON मंदिर बनाए तो उनको 3 जगह बताई, जबलपुर, भोपाल और उज्जैन। तो जबलपुर भी गए वो, भोपाल भी गए, फिर यहाँ आए तो मुझे जानकारी हो गई थी। उनके साथ चीफ सेक्रेटरी थे, उज्जैन के कलेक्टर कमिश्नर साथ थे और अधिकारीगण थे। तो आरती उनने मेरे साथ की सांदीपनी की। मैंने उनसे निवेदन किया कि आप जिस लक्ष्य से आए हैं उस लक्ष्य के लिए विश्व में सर्वोपरि स्थान यदि है तो उज्जैन है। तो ऐसे स्थान पर अगर आप विश्व के कृष्ण भक्तों को यहाँ उज्जैन से जोड़ेंगे तो इससे बड़ी बात दूसरी नहीं हो सकती है। तो उनने मेरे निवेदन पर कहा कि मैं जाकर विचार करके आपको सूचित करता हूँ। तो जब वो मायापुर चले गए और वहाँ से फिर उन्होंने कमिश्नर, मुख्यमंत्री, कलेक्टर इनको खबर दी। साथ साथ ये भी कहा कि व्यास जी को ज़रूर खबर करना कि हमने उज्जैन का चयन किया है। तो ऐसी स्थिति में मेरे निवेदन को महाराज ने स्वीकार करके यहाँ उन्होंने इसको स्थापना किया। उनसे मिले को आज 17 साल हो गए हैं। मेरे साथ बड़ा उनका आत्मीयता का संबंध था, मेरे प्रति बड़ा सम्मान के भाव रखते थे, मैं भी उनके प्रति बड़ी श्रद्धा रखता था। बड़े विनम्र, विद्वान और विद्वत्ता के साथ विनम्रता एक साथ दर्शन होते थे। ऐसे महापुरुष को आज मैं जन्म दिवस के अवसर पर स्मरण करता हूँ, याद करता हूँ और उनके प्रति हृदय से श्रद्धांजलि भी अर्पित करता हूँ। क्योंकि असल में कृष्ण जो भी थे, मथुरा में जन्म हुआ तो उनके लिए मथुरा एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान था, लेकिन वहाँ बाल लीलाओं के लिए महत्वपूर्ण था। लेकिन कृष्ण को ज्ञान विज्ञान से जो स्वरूप प्राप्त हुआ वो उज्जैन से प्राप्त हुआ। और इसीलिए मैं इस बात को कहता हूँ कि यहाँ के अध्ययन के समय उनको कृष्णम वंदे जगत, जगत गुरु की उपाधि और योगेश्वर की उपाधि उज्जैन से प्राप्त हुई थी। दोनों महत्वपूर्ण उपाधियाँ जहाँ उज्जैन से प्राप्त हुई। और फिर कुरुक्षेत्र में जाकर उन्होंने गीता का ज्ञान जो दिया, अमर ज्ञान, वो सारा विश्व में गीता पूजी जा रही है। अनेक भाषा में अनुवाद हुए हैं, अनेक संत चिंतक विद्वानों ने उस पर व्याख्या की है और आज भी उसमें अनेक प्रकार के शोध के विषय बाकी है जिस पर अनेक विद्वान आज भी शोध कर रहे हैं। तो ये गीता के ज्ञान की ऊर्जा भगवान श्री कृष्ण को उज्जैन से प्राप्त हुई थी। तो इस दृष्टि से भी उज्जैन का सबसे ज़्यादा महत्व है। और इस स्थान पे सारे विश्व के कृष्ण भक्तों को यहाँ उन्होंने जोड़ा। इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत उनको स्मरण करता हूँ और इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्य के लिए धन्यवाद भी देता हूँ और पुनः पुनः उनके प्रति हृदय से श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ।
हरे कृष्णा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद श्री आनंद शंकर व्यास जी यहाँ पे आने के लिए, उनका हम बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं।
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रस्ताय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति चारु स्वामिनेति नामने स्निग्धा चेता सुपर्णेता वाग्नाम चारा साप्लता प्रभुपादा गता प्राण नामी भक्ति चारु। Our dearest and beloved Guru Maharaj, on this most auspicious occasion, I offer my humble and respectful obeisance at your divine lotus feet, the treasure trove of Bhakti. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur sings, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo E Dase. O spiritual master, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I would always love to re-enter your association by reminiscing about the very rare moments you spent with us. They nourish me with boundless realization that spring forth. Therefore, I do not want to miss the opportunity to thank you profusely of how you made your way into my life and showered upon me. The most wretched soul that I am the ocean of mercy, I was lost in the quagmire of material existence. I pray with deep gratitude your presence becomes increasingly manifest in my heart. I aspire for our relationship to expand beyond the limits of time and space. Its transcendental depth increases unlimitedly. I become increasingly aware of your mercy and therefore increasingly indebted to you. It is you who has given me the most precious commodity, love for Krishna and the process of devotional service. I pray to see every day of my life as a thanksgiving day to your divine grace. And so it was yesterday, you just moved out of a vision. You just left us, Gurudev. Gurudev, this separation is painful. We just want to be loved. You have explicitly showered love on us. Now is our test to return that love to you by reaching out to you in your divine realm. Desperately taking shelter of the holy name is the only vehicle that can take us there. Guru Maharaj, that one glance was enough to make me want to serve you again and again. That one's depth of ignorance. Guru Maharaj, our journey to the most exalted destination of our human life has just begun. We are weak and incapacitated. Your divine mercy alone can navigate us through this Sagar. Trying, though feebly, to be an unconditional servant, your worthless disciple, Mirabai Devidasi. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. First of all, I'd like to pay my most heartfelt obeisances unto the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas assembled here, especially His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, if you wouldn't have called me those few days ago, I don't think the chord in my heart would have been struck, which compelled me to come today. Just on a plan of 2 hours, I just decided I must come. So I'm so grateful to you, Maharaj, and to all the Maharajas present here, and to all the Vaishnavas present here, and all the Vaishnavis present here. And first and foremost to Srila Prabhupada and our beloved Guru Maharaj. I request your blessings that I don't get so emotional that I can't speak. Today, this morning was a very tough morning for me. I was crying profusely and everybody was looking at me. And then I suddenly decided I must come, and I thank Shailaja Pyari for quickly making all the arrangements. So, Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Niti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Charu Swami Niti Namine. Dear most Guru Maharaj, sometimes I wonder, do I miss you? Most of the times I just feel that you haven't gone anywhere. That actually you are still here with us, walking somewhere in Ujjain, in your quarters, making so many phone calls, meeting so many devotees, and I'm in Vrindavan, just knowing that you're here. So what is the question of missing you because you're still here? Then I think surely grieving can't be so long. I should not be on the mental platform, I tell myself repeatedly. But today my tears wouldn't stop. And I realize maybe it's because I have finally accepted that actually you are now with your beloved Father, where you were yearning to be, and you must be serving Him to your heart's content, without any hindrances and limitations of this mortal world. Guru Maharaj, you always told us what Srila Prabhupada meant to you, to the movement, and to us, where Srila Prabhupada should be in the altar of our heart and lives. The whole of ISKCON recognizes and praises you for establishing Srila Prabhupada's position in his own home. My mind goes at this point, Guru Maharaj, to one incident which was maybe 10 years ago. You had given me the service of taking care of Sunday school, and Janmashtami had just happened, and it was such a busy time that for Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja day, I couldn't organize anything with the kids. So we were also exhausted from Janmashtami that the Vyasa Puja celebration kind of shifted way into September. And I had the kids make a nice poster, which I had put up on the entrance of the room where the program was going to take place. We were going to do Abhishek of Srila Prabhupada. So you were passing by, and then you looked at that poster, Maharaj, and you said, Vyasa Puja, isn't that a bit too late for Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja? That's already happened. I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, because we were so tired, we just couldn't do it in time. And then you suggested, why don't we change the poster and call it Srila Prabhupada's Memorial Festival, because it was falling so close to your appearance day. So for me, that just really showed how much your focus was on Prabhupada always. Then I think, Guru Maharaj, about your quality of love. Guru Maharaj, I never shared this with you, but I actually understand the pain of losing one's parents too well, because I lost my father when I was 8, and then I lost my mother, even though she was physically there, but she was mentally not there because of my father passing. So I had a very, very tough upbringing. And I realized that you also lost your mother. So I felt, when I got to know this, how tough it must have been for you. And generally, when such an incident happens in one's life, it can actually make one very bitter towards life due to the pain. It can make somebody even hard and harsh. But Guru Maharaj, you instead have been extra loving and affectionate, very giving and kind, and very sweet and gentle. I observed this, Guru Maharaj, especially when I saw you interacting with the younger devotees, with the youth, and with the kids. You would always leave a deep, deep, profound impact on their hearts, on their tender hearts, making them feel that, yes, they also matter. They mattered to you. The whole of ISKCON, Guru Maharaj, praises you for your sweet, gentlemanly qualities and nature. I remember, Guru Maharaj, when you asked us to leave England because we were only earning just to pay the bills, and you wanted my Prabhuji and me to come to Ujjain because you had the service for him. And it was your first Vyasa Puja, and I didn't know how it is celebrated here. So I asked Mitravinda Mataji, what is it like? And she said, Mataji, you should dress up very nicely. I said, what, for the evening? And she said, no, for the morning. And I said, what about the evening? She said, you should dress up even more. So I did exactly that. And when the evening came, I remember I had this red Banarsi sari from my wedding, and I decided I will wear this. And Swarn Prabha, those of you who know Swarn Prabha, she dressed me. And she dressed me as Paro from Devdas. She did it in a Bengali style. So it was a complete Bengali outfit, complete with the keys thrown at the back. And I was feeling so happy. And Guru Maharaj, I remember I had so much mehndi on my hand that you looked at me and you said, wow, Jamuna Priya, I can see you're really dressed up. And I said, yes, Maharaj, I've dressed up because it's your Vyasa Puja. And you just looked at me so lovingly and affectionately, just like a father would look at his daughter and be happy. So yeah. And you never forced any of us, Guru Maharaj. You always encouraged us. And for me, you just let me be. You made us feel so happy about ourselves. And in this way, Guru Maharaj, you encouraged us to offer our everything in service. You didn't stifle our growth, but you nurtured us to grow and blossom. I remember when I was taking care of the youth group, then one of the girls, and she's present here, she expressed her interest, Guru Maharaj, in wanting to watch a movie. And when girls are young, and we all know when we were young, we would watch movies too. So Maharaj, I shared this with you, and you actually had a frown on your face, and you said, you just let them be. And that for me was so striking, because it just showed how you understood their hearts, and you were training me how to deal with them in a more loving way. The girls tell me that I love them very much, but regarding this movie, I was thinking, maybe not, maybe not. But Maharaj, you just said that, of course, you know, so. And Guru Maharaj, you have always been very protective. I will share this one incident. Once, Guru Maharaj, I came to see you regarding something. And there was another devotee also who had come to see you regarding something. So when they went inside, I was called in also, and I was surprised why. So a whole discussion took place. I was quite flabbergasted. You didn't say anything, but later you told me that this person is actually envious of you. And my heart just melted because I was carrying so much heaviness. So Guru Maharaj, you just, without even saying, you understood everything, and you put everything into place just so perfectly. And you've always been so encouraging, Maharaj, in everything. You have always been so easygoing. I miss those days when we were posted to Ujjain on your instruction, and I was heartbroken. And you said that Jamuna Priya will go and settle her husband up in Gurgaon, and then she will come back here. And then after much pondering, I realized that I need to be where my husband is. So I said to you, Maharaj, I will go to Gurgaon and I will serve there. And you were very happy. Well, what came out of all of that was so wonderful, because Maharaj, you would come, anytime you would pass through England, through India, go out, and when you would come back to India, you would come to our place, which was your place. We were just taking care. And it was the most wonderful experience. I've shared those experiences on online glorification, so I won't go through that. But I just remember one day, we came back from the Delhi temple, and it was a very quick program. So we quickly went, Prabhuji, me, and we were with you, Maharaj. And once you gave the lecture in the Delhi temple, we came back and you hadn't had anything to eat. And I hadn't had the opportunity to cook your evening prasad because I was with you. So relaxed you were. You just said, what do you have in the house? Do you have bread? I said, yes, Maharaj. And there was a oven grill toaster. So you said, okay, so why don't I just have some toast? I said, Maharaj, okay, so what should we put on it? Maybe some cheese? Yes, that's a good idea. Maybe I can grill the toast. Yes. Maharaj, maybe I can put some tomatoes on top of it. You said, yeah, that sounds really good. So here you were standing there, and I was making this arrangement, and we put it in the grill, and you just happily accepted it. And just those simple things were so heartwarming, just to see you in that light. We see you as the GBC, we see you in so many different moods and so many different services, but to have that. And another one thing also happened that when you were there and you were going to travel, Maharaj, to America, should I stop, Maharaj? Is this too long? Should I stop? Yes, Maharaj, I'll end there. I actually have a song, so maybe I'll leave the song for tomorrow. So sorry for taking so much time. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण। प्रभुपाद जी को प्रणाम करते हुए, परम पूज्य गिरिराज स्वामी महाराज को प्रणाम करते हुए, भक्ति चरण स्वामी को प्रणाम करते हुए और पति सभी वैष्णवों को प्रणाम करके मैं अपने कुछ हृदय के भाव व्यक्त करना चाहूँगा। महाराज, आपकी कृपा से हम लोग सूरत में कुछ प्रयास कर रहे हैं और प्रत्यक्ष रूप से आपका उसमें बहुत योगदान रहा है। अर्थ में वैदिक साधना भक्ति का अभ्यास करते हुए जैसे जैसे समय पास होता है, भक्ति का अभ्यास करते हैं और भक्ति के प्रभाव से हमें अपने अनर्थों का ज्ञान होता है, अपनी कमजोरियाँ, अपनी असमर्थताएँ, अपनी अयोग्यताएँ, कितने अपराध हम लोग करते हैं, कितनी लापरवाही हम करते हैं, साथ ही साथ अपने गुरु की महानता, वैष्णव की महानता भी धीरे धीरे ज्ञान होता है। जब तक हम आपकी महानता को कुछ पहचान पाते, ठीक से आपके साथ संपर्क स्थापित करते पाते और आपकी अच्छी सेवा कर पाते, समय ने हमको विलग कर दिया आपसे। लेकिन इसका प्रभाव यही है कि अब हमें समझ में आता है कि हमें क्या मिला है, कौन मिला है, और हमारा आभार का अभाव इंटेंसिफाई हो जाता है आपके प्रति। हमें ऐसी शक्ति दीजिए कि आपके इस आंदोलन को हम आपकी इच्छा के अनुरूप बड़ी गंभीरता और ईमानदारी के साथ में आगे बढ़ा सकें। महाराज, मैंने इधर को यह अनुभव किया, यदि हमारा लक्ष्य स्पष्ट है, मोटिव क्लियर है कि हमें अपने गुरु को प्रसन्न करना है, गुरुओं को प्रसन्न करना है, बस बाकी सब चीज़ सेकेंडरी है, तो अनेकों प्रकार के चुनौतियाँ, अनेकों प्रकार की विपरीत परिस्थितियाँ, अनुकूल प्रतिकूलताएँ आती हैं जीवन में और आएंगी और अधिक भी आएंगी। लेकिन जब हमारा लक्ष्य स्पष्ट है कि प्रत्येक चीज़ हमारे गुरु की सेवा के लिए है, तो कोई भी परिस्थिति, कोई भी चुनौती, कोई भी प्रतिकूलता हमें हिला नहीं सकती और विचलित नहीं कर सकती। मैं महाराज के एक गुण के बारे में, इंदु महाराज का बताया हुआ एक घटना का वर्णन करूंगा जो बहुत ही रोमांचक, बहुत ही हृदय स्पर्शी, प्रेरणाप्रद। इंदु महाराज लिख रहे हैं, मैं भक्ति चारू महाराज को धन्यवाद, आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूँगा। उन्होंने प्रभुपाद जी के एक वरिष्ठ शिष्य, वरिष्ठ गॉड ब्रदर, जो प्रभुपाद जी के बहुत शुभचिंतक थे, बहुत प्रेमी थे, बीपी पुरी महाराज। बीपी पुरी महाराज के पास एक मंत्र था, नरसिंह मंत्र, जो उन्हें भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज से प्राप्त हुआ था। भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज को ये मंत्र भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर से प्राप्त हुआ था, और भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर को यह मंत्र प्रत्यक्ष नरसिंह भगवान ने स्वयं दिया था। इस मंत्र की विशेषता ये थी, यह मंत्र जिसके पास होगा उसकी मृत्यु से रक्षा होगी। अब बीपी पुरी महाराज जब वृद्ध हो गए, ये सन 1980 की बात है, वह इस मंत्र को किसी सन्यासी को देना चाहते थे और उनकी इच्छा थी इस्कॉन के ही किसी सन्यासी को दें। जब भक्ति चारू महाराज को ये बात की जानकारी हुई तो महाराज बीपी पुरी महाराज के पास मिलने गए, उनसे बात करके आए, और आने के बाद उन्होंने 1984 में इंदु महाराज से कहा कि मैं आपको कुछ देना चाहता हूँ। बीपी पुरी महाराज के पास एक मंत्र है, नरसिंह मंत्र, वो आप ले लीजिए, इस मंत्र से मृत्यु से रक्षा होगी। तो तुरंत ही इंदु महाराज बोले कि यह तो आपको लेना चाहिए, आप मुझसे हर दृष्टिकोण से वरिष्ठ हैं, मैं तो अभी नया सन्यासी हूँ और आप इसके लिए योग्य हैं हर तरह से, हर दृष्टिकोण से। तो भक्ति चारू महाराज बोले कि यही तो आपस का मित्रता और प्रेम की बात है कि हम अपने स्वार्थ से ऊपर उठ के किसी के लिए कुछ करते हैं। फिर इंदु महाराज ने कहा कि लेकिन क्या जीबी से सहमत होंगे इसके लिए? बोले वो मैं बात करूँगा। तभी जीबीसी मीटिंग चल रही थी, भक्ति चारू महाराज ने वहाँ बातचीत की और संध्या को इंदु महाराज के पास आके बोले कि जीबीसी सहमत हैं इसके लिए। फिर भक्ति चारू महाराज ने एक और भक्ति व्यवस्था की और इंदु महाराज गए और बीपी महाराज पुरी महाराज से उन्होंने मंत्र ग्रहण किया, दीक्षा हुआ उनका। बाद में इंदु महाराज लिख रहे हैं, अब मुझे बड़ा दुख होता है इस बात का, यदि यह मंत्र भक्ति चारू महाराज के पास होता तो आज वो हमारे साथ होते। साथ ही उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि 3 बार उनको कैंसर के कारण से मृत्यु का सामना करना पड़ा और उसके अलावा भी कई बार सामना करना पड़ा, इस मंत्र के कारण उनकी रक्षा हुई। तो महाराज कह रहे हैं कि इतना त्याग, इतना प्रेम कहाँ देखने को मिलेगा, और मैं यही कामना करता हूँ कि जब भी मैं अपने शरीर त्यागूंगा तो मैं वहीं जाकर भक्ति चारू महाराज से मुलाकात करूँगा, प्रभुपाद जी के पास हम लोग साथ में सेवा करेंगे। मैं एक छोटा सा, महाराज के गुणों की सीमा नहीं है, सभी लोग वर्णन कर रहे हैं, सुन के बड़ा आनंद हो रहा है, लेकिन गिरिराज स्वामी महाराज कोई विशेष बात लिख रहे हैं अपनी ऑफरिंग में। अनेकों क्वालिटी का वर्णन करते गिरिराज स्वामी महाराज लिखते हैं, मैं ये इंग्लिश में रीड करता हूँ एज इट इज महाराज के शब्दों में। अनदर ऑफ योर मैनी फाइन क्वालिटीज वॉज योर ऑफेंसलेसनेस। यू आर वेरी केयरफुल नॉट टू कमिट एनी ऑफेंस against any devotee or any living entity. And if you felt you had committed an offense, you immediately tried to mitigate its effects by approaching the person, apologizing and asking forgiveness. Somehow or other, you tried to rectify the offense. From our point of view, we would not think you had committed an offense, but within your pure heart, you may have felt that you had, and immediately you would try to approach and please the person you feared you had offended to remove the effect of the offense. महाराज का हृदय इतना कोमल है, हमेशा हम सभी देखते हैं, जानते हैं, सुनते हैं रोज को। महाराज मैं आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। मैं सूरत के भक्तों की तरफ से विशेष एक बात प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूँ। महाराज की बड़ी इच्छा थी कि सूरत में एक प्रचार केंद्र खुले। उन्होंने मुझे 2-3 बार पहले कहा, हम न कुछ ज़्यादा प्रयास करते कि न हमें कुछ ज़्यादा संभावना थी, लेकिन जब 2015 में सूरत में व्यास पूजा हुई तब शाम को महाराज ने डिक्लेयर किया, जब मूर्तिमंत प्रभु का केंद्र खुल चुका था वराछा में, अब इस बार राधाचरण प्रभु के द्वारा एक केंद्र खुलेगा। उसके कुछ महीनों बाद, 3-4 महीने बाद ही हम लोग को केंद्र की प्राप्ति हुई। इसके बाद आपने जब देखा कि अब ये केंद्र आगे छोटा पड़ेगा जगह, तो आपने कहा कि हमें एक फुल फ्लैज प्रीचिंग सेंटर की व्यवस्था करनी चाहिए जहाँ मंदिर भी हो, और आपकी कृपा से वो अब फलीभूत होने जा रहा है। आप आशीर्वाद दीजिए कि हम उसको बहुत जल्दी कार्यान्वित करके और शीघ्र प्रभुपाद को अर्पण कर सकें अपने आभार के भाव के रूप में। महाराज मुझे आशीर्वाद दीजिए कि मैं आपके 5 चिन्हों का अनुसरण करते हुए आपको, गिरिराज स्वामी महाराज को, प्रभुपाद को, समस्त वैष्णवों को प्रसन्न कर सकूं। मेरे अपराधों को क्षमा करते हुए, मेरे दोषों को ओवरलुक करते हुए मुझे ऐसा आशीर्वाद दीजिए कि मैं अपने अंदर जो भी अनर्थ है उनको दूर करके और गंभीर तरह सेवा कर सकूं। लेकिन महाराज अब जीवन और संसार वो नहीं है जब था जो आप थे यहाँ पर। वी मिस यू टू मच एवरी डे महाराज। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर एवरीथिंग। भक्ति चारू स्वामी गुरु महाराज की, प्रभुपाद जी की जय, समस्त वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जय गॉड।